The islands, with their azure waters and warm smiles, promised respite. Maria as Maria. I'm a local artisan, and I possess a quiet grace that captivates those around me. My laughter is like wind chimes, and my touch is a soothing balm. John Walker as John Walker. Our initial encounters were filled with shy smiles and hesitant touches. I was cautious from past heartaches, but I found myself disarmed by Maria's innocence. Maria, as Maria, I spoke of family, of my little stall by the beach, my voice a melody that stirred his soul. As they strolled along the shore, John felt an unfamiliar hope bloom in his chest. Their courtship unfolded slowly, like the unfurling of a rare flower. John Walker, as John Walker, I was captivated by Maria's simplicity, and I found myself falling deeper into the abyss of her love. I learned of her dreams, a small plot of land, a home built with our own hands, a life away from the tourist traps. Her aspirations resonated with his desire for something real, something anchored. Maria, as Maria, I never asked for anything. I seemed content with our walks, our shared laughter, the simple act of being together. Her apparent lack of materialistic desires only solidified John's belief in her genuineness. John Walker, as John Walker, once jaded, I felt a reawakening. Fueled by love and the promise of a shared future, John proposed to build Maria her dream home. He envisioned a haven, a testament to their love, overlooking the turquoise waters. Maria as Maria. With my eyes shimmering with tears, I whispered a heartfelt yes. John, caught in the throes of love's grand illusion, spared no expense. John Walker as John Walker. I envisioned our life together, the scent of jasmine filling our home, the sound of Maria's laughter echoing through its halls. Maria as Maria. I spoke of a garden, fragrant with herbs and vibrant with blooms. John promised to build me a gazebo, a place where I could weave my crafts, the ocean breeze my constant companion. With each brick laid and each nail hammered, John believed he was building more than just a house. John, bound by his work back home, entrusted Maria with overseeing the construction. He wired her funds, their shared dream woven into every transaction. Maria as Maria, ever the picture of reassurance, I assured him of my diligence, my voice filled with love and gratitude. He called her every night, the crackling static on the line a small price to pay for the sound of her voice. John Walker as John Walker. I clung to her every word, my heart aching with each goodbye. I sent her extra money for furnishings, for incidentals, my love manifesting in tangible gestures. Maria as Maria. In my unassuming way, I expressed my gratitude, assuring him that he was everything to me. John, blinded by love, embraced her words as gospel. A subtle shift occurred, a crack in John's idyllic world. Maria's calls became less frequent, her excuses tinged with a new evasiveness. Maria as Maria. Oh, John, it's just the construction delays and these faulty phone lines. Everything's fine, really. The excitement in her voice, once a vibrant current, seemed to dim, replaced by a strained cheerfulness. John, his anxieties prickling, pushed for explanations. John Walker as John Walker. Maria, what's going on? You don't sound like yourself lately. Maria, her voice a notch higher than usual, blamed construction delays, faulty phone lines, anything to quell his growing unease. He wanted to believe her, to cling to their shared dream, but doubt had sown its insidious seeds. John Walker as John Walker. Maybe I'm just overthinking. Maria's always been so gentle, never cared for material things. He tried to shake off the feeling, to rationalize the changes, but the doubts, like persistent weeds, refused to be eradicated, their tendrils tightening around his heart. Sleep, once a refuge filled with dreams of their future, became elusive. The day arrived when John, his gut a churning knot of dread, booked a flight. He told himself it was a surprise for Maria, a chance to see their dream home taking shape, but deep down, a chilling premonition gnawed at his soul. He tried calling Maria, his heart pounding with each unanswered ring. John Walker as John Walker. Come on, Maria, pick up, please. The familiar beep on the other end felt like a death knell, amplifying the emptiness that threatened to consume him. Panic, cold and sharp, began to set in. He landed in the Philippines, the once welcoming air now heavy with foreboding. He rushed to their spot, the beach where they had shared stolen kisses and whispered promises. The house, his dreams, stood partially complete, a skeletal reminder of a future that now felt as distant as the stars. Panic turned to icy despair as John learned the devastating truth. The construction crew, their faces etched with pity, confirmed his worst fears. John Walker, as John Walker. What do you mean Maria's gone? She wouldn't just leave. Maria had vanished weeks ago, taking with her the remaining funds, leaving behind nothing but a half-built house and a shattered heart. John stumbled back, the world tilting on its axis. The sounds of the bustling street faded to a dull roar as the weight of her betrayal crashed down upon him. John Walker, as John Walker. How could I have been so blind? All those missed calls, the excuses. The pieces of the puzzle fell into place. The missed calls, the flimsy excuses, the dwindling affection. He wandered through the shell of their dream home, each unfinished room a testament to his shattered hopes. The scent of fresh lumber and paint mocked him, a cruel reminder of the life they were supposed to build. Days blurred into a haze of disbelief and anger. John, numb with shock, navigated the legalities, the police reports, the futile attempts to track down Maria. He was met with shrugs, sympathetic glances, and the bitter realization that she was gone. The locals, once so welcoming, now seemed to view him with a mixture of pity and suspicion. John Walker, as John Walker. I was a stranger in a strange land, a fool who had been parted from my money and my heart. Shame washed over me, a bitter pill to swallow. I tried to piece together what had happened, to understand how I could have been so thoroughly deceived. He replayed every conversation, every shared laugh, every stolen glance, searching for clues, for answers that seemed lost in the wind. The pain was a physical ache, a leaden weight in his chest. The flight back to the United States was a blur of exhaustion and heartache. John, his spirit broken, stared out the window at the passing clouds, each one a fleeting reminder of the ephemeral nature of dreams, of love, of trust. He returned to a life that seemed to have continued without him, the world oblivious to the storm that raged within him. John Walker, as John Walker. The familiar sights and sounds of my hometown grated on my raw nerves, amplifying my sense of displacement. I went through the motions, work, meals, sleep, each action mechanical, devoid of joy. The vibrant tapestry of my life had been bleached, leaving behind a dull, lifeless monochrome. I was a ghost haunting my own existence. He became withdrawn, shunning social gatherings, the well-meaning inquiries about his trip, the pitying glances. Time, the supposed healer, did little to mend his shattered heart. He carried the scars of Maria's betrayal like invisible tattoos, a constant reminder of his own naivete. John Walker, as John Walker. I threw myself into my work, finding solace in the familiar routines, the tangible results. I avoided relationships, the thought of vulnerability, of trust, sending shivers down my spine. I had built walls around my heart, impenetrable, unyielding. I became cynical, jaded, a shell of the man I once was. The world, once painted in vibrant hues, now appeared drab, the colors leached away by the harsh realities of betrayal. I had tasted love and found it to be a bitter brew. He couldn't erase the memories, the shared laughter, the stolen kisses, the promises whispered against a backdrop of crashing waves. John Walker, once a man open to the world's possibilities, now carried the weight of caution. Maria's betrayal had been a brutal lesson, etching itself onto his very being. John Walker, as John Walker, I had learned the hard way that love, like a delicate flower, could bloom in the most unexpected of places, but it could also wilt and die, leaving behind thorns of regret. I learned that trust, a precious commodity, should not be given lightly. It was a gift to be earned, nurtured and cherished, not squandered on fleeting infatuations or whispered promises. Due diligence, once a foreign concept, became my mantra. He emerged from the ashes of his heartbreak, not unscathed, but wiser. He carried the scars, both visible and invisible, as a reminder of his journey, of the lessons learned. John Walker, forever changed by his encounter with Maria, vowed to never again be blinded by love's illusion.